that's
but they're
part of
not
it's
getting
the
the
same.
fullness of truth.
Yeah,
They're actually doing it better.
see, the gospel message is the foundation of the faith.
Yeah.
In order to be a Christian, you have to understand and accept that gospel message. You can be Catholic, Episcopalian, Baptist, Assembly of God. You can all be a Christian if you accept this. Okay? The problem is what separates Catholics from the rest of Christianity is this is all they've got. Okay? We have this, but we also have church on top of that. And we have the two. That's where the difference lies. But this is all the same. You know? You know, good for them. They've got that part. So I tell my Christian friends, come to the Catholic Church. You take everything you got and you can add to it. Breaks my heart is when Catholics leave the Catholic Church. They have all this, and now they're just accepting that. They're going backwards. You know, at least they have this part, but again,
Well, that was kind of a
be a
dumb
greedy Christian.
But
No, it isn't, because I don't think that's where a lot of Protestants are at, and they don't understand that.
Yeah, this is where they're at.
I don't think it's a dumb question.
Oh, no. No, very, you know.
However, lots of Catholics leave because they have medical problems and then they...
Yeah, and let's be realistic. Being a Catholic's a lot harder than being a Baptist. You know, you want to be a Baptist, you know, you just go there and sign up and you can be there in a couple of weeks. In order to be a Catholic, you got to be punished for 9 months and go through RCIA with me, but the Catholic Church is more, you know, rigid. You know, then also, you know, another biggie, you know, people want to become Catholic, you know, and especially if they had a past marriage. You know, they're remarried. You know, the church has a big deal, you know, your past marriage needs to be looked at, and was it a sacramental marriage or not? You know, and that, you know, makes it a lot difficult. Being a Catholic's a lot harder. But then, just like anything in life, do you appreciate something more if it's just given to you, or you work for it? You know? And sometimes the things that are more value in your life, it takes working. You know, I don't know, think about, you know, for those of you that may have gone to college, okay? I went 5.5 years, okay? I'm not a very bright person, but all the suffering. Let's be realistic. You go to college, there's a lot of suffering involved, isn't there? Papers and homework and term papers, and, you know, you wonder if it's all worth it. But then when you finally get through it, you know, hopefully it's worth it because you're able to get a job that you'll benefit more. You know, it's the same thing, I think, you know.
But it goes back to the same thing most Catholics don't
No, the faith.
don't even
know their
they have
faith.
one.
And
They don't know. Yeah, that's the issue. That's the problem, you know, and I get frustrated sometimes. Why isn't this class full? You know? Think how many people go to Mass on Sundays? How many people are here or in these other classes? They just don't know. And that's the problem. They need to know. We've been commanded to know.
And the outside world doesn't see that in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Because my friends who came to Stations of the Cross were absolutely amazed at the basic gospel message at the end of it.
Yeah. You know, most Protestants, they don't even think Catholics believe in the gospel message. Because you talk to most Catholics, they don't talk about it. And I'll be bold and I'll say, I'll bet you on a Sunday, I'll bet you there are a bunch of Catholics in there and I could ask them, what's the gospel message? And they wouldn't have the foggiest idea what I'm talking about. And that's not right. That's why Vatican II came to be, is to tell us how to live. And we'll just kind of wrap it up here. The mission statement of our church is to preach the gospel message and to establish churches. And then when you start looking at all the subsets, remember last week we talked about the laity. What is one of our primary responsibilities in all the apostolates that we are involved in? What's the primary goal? Profess the gospel message. I was going to bring you to the document. There's a document in here on bishops. The primary goal of a bishop is to proclaim the gospel message. There's a section in here on priests. What do you think one of the major tasks of a priest is supposed to be? Proclaiming the gospel message. It's all throughout Vatican II. The church saw the need. The Catholic Church is not doing as well as it should in proclaiming the basics. So it's telling us in all these sections, this is what we need to do. And this is the part where I get a little frustrated sometimes. We've been commanded to do it since 1965. What is this, 2010? You know, the church is moving. I know some areas, you know, that are really going gangbusters on evangelization. And there's other areas that are not. Vatican II, just summarizing, it tells us how we're supposed to operate as church, as people in church, in the church. And so, but look on the bright side. They always say that whenever an ecumenical council comes out, it takes about a century for everything to come into place. So, it's moving in that direction, don't get me wrong. If you look at 1960s and 2010, a lot has happened. Look, if you've been on the internet, have you seen CDs out there? It's incredible what's out there now when it comes to the Catholic Church. You know, I've been to Catholic conferences down in Southern California, 10,000 Catholics. You know, CDs, speakers, retreats, EWTN, the largest Christian broadcasting station in the world. You know, there's a lot happening. So I guess when you look at it that way, a lot has been happening. But we still have a ways to go. So.
I have Protestant friends that watch EWTN and they're just thrilled.
And they'll convert, yeah. And I firmly believe that. See, a lot of our non-Catholic friends, they have misperceptions of the Catholic Church. And I would bet, if you were to get, I don't care who, bring in any Protestant, non-Catholic, with at least a reasonably open mind, okay? And come in and listen to the Catholic Church. I'd love to have a person come in through our RCIA class and sit here for 9 months and ask that person at the end of 9 months, you know, what do you think now? Their eyes would be opened. Because they think Catholics worship statues and, you know, work our way to heaven, and we don't believe in Jesus, and we don't believe in the gospel message. They really believe that. And if they were to be convinced and told, we do believe that stuff, I think their eyes would be open and they would be really receptive to the Catholic Church. And then also, you know, a lot of none of our Catholic friends, the only way they know the Catholic Church is through other people. They may know a Catholic, okay? And what if that Catholic doesn't know his or her faith? That's the perception another person gets of the Catholic Church, and it could be totally wrong. So your goal and my goal is to always continue learning our faith so we know it, so we can learn it, love it, and live it, but then also so that we can share it with other people. So Vatican II. There's a lot more documents in there, but it all teaches us what we should be doing as church and as individuals. So, well, hopefully I gave you a little bit of Vatican II. There's still a lot more in there, but that's the mission statement, and they all shoot in that direction. Well, this is our last class. My goodness. Time goes by when you're having fun, I hope. Appreciate you coming all these weeks, sticking with it here. Hopefully we'll see you around in September when we do this again.
Are you going to have another Vatican?
Okay, well, hopefully see you in a class September. My challenge to you is this summer, just because we're on summer vacation, does it mean you stop learning your faith and doing something in addition to going to Mass?
No.
No! I challenge you to keep doing something during summer. I challenge us to do at least one thing in addition to going to Mass during summer.